Hello boys and girls, Elias and Sergey are here for you again with another motherboard. This time is the ASUS Rampage 5 ROG motherboard from ASUS, which is designated for Haswell Extreme CPUs, the 2011-3 socket. This is an absolute monstrous of motherboards. It brings a lot of stuff in the package, in the box. It's beautifully packaged. You know, even has this window, so you can see, you know, all the internals, the OC panel. You know, you can have a closer look how it is. Okay. So what's so special about this motherboard, and why did we choose this one over any other, you know, motherboard? This time we're going to use it in our client's build. You know, it has the OC panel in it. It's something special that no other manufacturer does include with the case, but you know, we are a bit skeptical about it. We'll tell you why, and you know why it's not ideal for all cases. So let's open up the box, see what's inside, and what we have with it. So it's a big case, it's a big box, it needs a lot of opening to be done. There are two parts of that we have here. So, all right. One part is the big case that has the motherboard in it and the accessories, and there is another box which is also quite big that also has some stuff in it. Okay, let's do this box first and then get to the other box. All right. So we have a warning, you know, tag that you can hang on your door. You may enter, game off. If you're not playing, you can, you know, welcome people in or scare them away because you're gaming and, you know, you're angry or something. We have the input-output shield of your motherboard here. The backplate for your cooling for your fan here, with the key included. Your user's guide here from ASUS, very thick, that also has inside, you know, your warranty sheet that you can fill in, and all the information about the, you know, motherboard and how to install it, so on and so forth. Driver's disc with Republic of Gamers logo that you can stick on your case. Safety information, motherboard layout, and other information that you might need to know regarding your motherboard. ROG cables label, you know, for your hard drives, and keyboard stickers for your custom keys. Your three-way SLI bridge. Let's open them up to see how they look. Republic of Gamers labeled. This is three-way SLI. It's made on a hard piece, so it's very convenient. It's gonna make your setup three-way SLI very sturdy. So you can see it's dual slot for dual slot cards. If you have cards that are 3 slots, this is not gonna be enough. Another one but this way, this time it's 4-way SLI. Again, dual slot cards. You need to remember that 4-way SLI can be used only with CPUs that provide enough, PCI lanes for it. For CPUs like 5960X or 5930K, you can use 4-way SLI. Otherwise, if you are using 5820, it's going to be a 3-way SLI maximum, because the 5960X provides 40 lanes, PCI Express lanes. 5930K provides 32 lanes, and 5820 provides 28 lanes only. And here are some more flexible SLI ribbons, long ones for the cases when you have triple slot cards, or they are far away apart from each other. Some sensors included with the motherboard, temperature sensors, 3 of them. SATA 3 6 gigabit per second cables, 5 of them, which means that you have 10 cables, 2 each. Motherboard front panel standoffs, so make it more convenient for you to connect the front panel cables. It has a wireless AC on board, so this is a wireless AC antenna included, up to 1300 megahertz. And here is the OC panel 5¼ inch bay adapter, which we are going to see later with the OC panel itself, just to see how it's installed. And here is the USB cable for your for your OC panel, to connect it to your motherboard's USB interface. Right, let's put this aside and get to the motherboard itself. So we open up, here is the OC panel. As you know, the screen can turn depending on how you're gonna use it. So you can either have it like this on your desk, and have your cable routed from here. It is powered with a SATA power cable, and here where your USB cable goes. But you need to make sure that you have a hole somewhere in your case where you can route this USB and connect it to your motherboard, or you can have it directly at the front of your case using this adapter. So this is how it's going to look. You're not going to have access to all these buttons for your overclocking, choosing your profiles and everything. Is not going to be so convenient if you have all this hidden away. Here we have some fan ports on board. Then we have different other controls coming from OC panel. We have not used this extensively, to be too familiar with it, but it's something that if you want to control your fans from here and sensors, temperature sensors, then you can connect all these cables to it and have it sitting in your case nevertheless. And here your voltage probes here as well, that you can connect to the side of it and see the voltages running. but this is how we're gonna have it, sitting in the case, just, you know, just mostly for fun, not from the practical point of view, to be honest. Sorry. And here is the motherboard itself, the big daddy or mummy, whichever you like. It's motherboard, so it's mummy, I would say. All right, it's better to have it this way. As you can see, this 2011 socket is huge compared to, for example, 1150. It's much bigger, the cut off here. As we can see, we have 8 DIMM slots, so you can install up to 64 gigs of quad channel memory. So if you would like to, you know, have all the power of this motherboard, you have to at least populate 1, 2, 1, 2, each four DIMMs at least, to make the use of quad channel memory. Apart from that, you know, we have 5 PCI Express ports, and effectively up to 40 PCI lanes if the CPU supports that. We're going to use 5960X CPU, so we're going to benefit from all these. You have, let's start with the power. You have 24-pin motherboard power connector here. You have 8 plus 4 ATX power connectors, 12-watt CPU power connectors. Here you have, you know, buttons, start reset buttons for people that are gonna have open benches and would like to have these hardware buttons here as well. The display to see if your motherboard is putting correctly and if there is any issue to troubleshoot it. Also, we have some other switches that you know, can be used to turn off your PCI Express lanes. So instead of taking off your card, you just can switch off any of the lanes and see if your card has any issues. Memory check, you know, put to BIOS, and here we have the front panel USB 3 port. We have 8 Intel SATA ports, and as media SATA ports that are for, you know, SATA Express, these ones here. Let's put this aside to see it better. So here we have as media ports for eSATA, which is going to use your PCI Express bandwidth to make, you know, to run faster, and populates 2 ports. So we have 8 SATA Express ports at 6 gigabits per second from Intel. We have 1 SATA Express port here, double 6 gigabit per second. Same with 2 SATA Express port from ASMedia, and 1 M.2 socket which is here, which is also going to use your PCI Express bandwidth. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As far as I can see, we have 8 fan controllers on board, so you can connect plenty of fans to your motherboard. We have the front panel LEDs, another one USB 3 port, so you can connect your devices that use USB to be managed from the motherboard. USB 2 port, another USB 2 port. Here we have some more. No, this one is your front audio, and here are the USBs actually. So here is the Supreme FX audio chip from ASUS that provides 8.1 audio channel, 8.1 channel audio from the motherboard. Also, I wanted to talk about the PCI Express slots that we have here. So we have 5 full PCI Express slots, and you can effectively use 4 of them if you want to run quad channel setup, SLI or Crossfire. But as I said, you need to make sure that your CPU supports it to run 4 quad, otherwise you'll have only 3 available. So it goes like 16, 8, 8 and 8, or it goes 16, 8, 8 or 8, 8, 8. So depending on your CPU, you have different combination of speeds running off your motherboard. So you need to make sure that if you want to run at least 2 at full speed, 16 and 16, then you need to have proper CPU, at least 5930K to run that, or 5960X to run all 4 and run them at 16, 8, 8, 8 speeds. Here we have some LEDs that are going to light up when you turn it on. So it's the Rock Shield cooling. These and coming from ASUS. This and this we are going to replace, and with custom cooling. I'm gonna show it later in other unboxing. So stay tuned if you want to see it. And now we get to the input output shield. Here we have motherboard reset button, motherboard checking buttons here, and BIOS reset. Here we have PS2 mouse and keyboard input for those old keyboards and mouses. For people that use old school keyboards, it's going to be very convenient. We have 2 USB 2 ports, 10 USB 3 ports, which is amazing, to have so many USB 3 ports at the back, and also have an option to have 4 more USB 3 ports at the front. We have the wireless AC triple channel connectors here. Optical output, it supports only up to 5.1. So if you have 7.1 system or 8.1, you should use this Supreme FX output here to benefit from the high quality audio. So this motherboard is pretty badass, as good as it gets. Apart from front panel from the cooling at the front, we have the X99 chipset backplate here, as well as CPU cooling bracket here, and the MOSFETs, you know, cooling at this side. It's an eATX motherboard, so it's wider than standard ATX boards. You need to make sure that your case has enough space, but if you have chosen a motherboard like this, I'm pretty sure that you already know that your case has enough space and you know what hardware you're gonna use in it. It's not cheap. It comes pre with tools that, you know, are unnecessary in some cases. For example, the OC panel. I have no need to use it because all the overclocking and everything that you need to do, you can do it from the BIOS. You don't need to do, you know, do it real time. Only if you are a hardcore overclocker, then yes, then you can have it, you know, to run your temperature sensors, to run your voltage sensors, to run your nitrogen cooling for your CPU, to just get a couple of extra megahertz from your CPU. But it's a if you have the money, it's a magnificent board to get. I definitely recommend it, and I'm pretty sure that ASUS is going to come up with the black edition of this board at some point. I already know that they have released USB 3.1 cards for these motherboards, along with the Z97 boards, so it's gonna be bundled with future versions of this board, or you can buy it separately, I guess. Well, we're gonna show you the EK water blocks for this motherboard, so stay tuned for that video as well. For now, if you would like to see more videos about other motherboards or any other electronics, please subscribe, leave your comments down below, you know, if you have anything to ask or suggest. Thanks for watching for now, and see you again soon. Bye bye now.